Hi everybody, hope you're doing well and welcome back to the channel for the top 5 tips of the month, the video that I make every month based on what's happening in the month in question, which this one is July. Tip number 1 is incursions and champions that are good in incursions. Of course, the main thing off the bat, which I did a full video devoted to this, was to say, hey, make sure you've got yourself all your boosts available, as many as possible, farm them, solo crystals, pop them open. And of course, going against Shocker and Overseer, you may need some true strike, true accuracy champions to counter things like auto block. Of course, a lot of you will have to do that for the first 10 zones because you want Magnetron crystals, so good luck for you. And also, various team ideas do range in champions of popularity and obviously potency, with having that lovely Odin pre-fight as being a main catalyst to then set up a team. A lot of people are opting for either using Cosmic Ghost Rider, using Angela, people are using Bullseye, people are using Aegon, and a whole plethora of other champions like Vox. Actually good. And also some people are using Moleman as having that auto block counter with true accuracy. But in any case, good luck, and I'll put a link in the description to a very helpful thread where a lot of players are discussing who they're using in this particular Saga incursions. Tip number 2, and should you be doing or pushing Coin Line, the solo event, or should you be pushing through to do all the difficulties of the side quest? Quick answer to all of these things, no. Long answer, yes, maybe, but it's always down to the player as to what's your personal interest. Starting with Coin Line. Coin Line is your kind of side solo event which refreshes on a weekly basis, which is that one right there. A lot of players are feeling the interest to push it. I don't know if it's advisable to do that, especially to get some of the rank rewards, which is an additional amount of those hairballs and oddballs crystal shards, which, as they were recently buffed, the Cavalier versions that you get as the meta monthly that you get, I don't see it there as a valuable thing to go for. If you want some extra ISO, yeah, go for it. If you want to potentially awaken a champion or get a champion that you might not normally get, well, look, there's going to be at about, I'd say, Paragon, maybe even, I think Paragon, Thronebreaker, and yeah, I don't know. Paragon and Valiant, I don't think would be too interested in these particular crystals. There is a profile picture selector, if anyone's interested, but I don't think it's worth pushing through, and you know, a lot of time wasted in there. When it comes to the side quest, though, this is going to be debatable if you're actually interested in some of the stuff. There's nothing of value for me, Rich, except for threat level 5. Well, yeah, that's exactly why I said, yes, it's not worth going, and long answer is maybe. That maybe is largely rooted to these additional Tier 2 Primordial Dust 50, and I said things in the wrong way, 50 Tier 2 Primordial Dust. If you're interested in that in threat level 4, you may want to push threat level 4. If you want it yourself an extra amount of 6-star shards, you may do it. But let's be brutally honest, the best stuff is largely going to come in doing threat level 5. Of course it is. And that's where you might find your push or your endeavor in. There may be some additional other shards there, but there's nothing hugely of value that would scream out, as per if you have seen the little breakdown by Kabam right here. You'll see on threat level 4, there's nothing really of huge value. There's tier 5 class catalyst crystal if that's something you're interested in. Apart from that, it's difficult. I mean, tier 2 class alloy crystal in week 1 exploration. Maybe you want that. Maybe you don't. But I don't see anything of huge value in the threat level 4, with most of it in threat level 5. Tip 3 is going to be about revive and potion farming, as this is going to be so important to players going into the Spring of Sorrow Gauntlet. As a lot of you know, on July 17th, this week, actually, this week, to August 14th gives you about 28 days to go and do the event, and that's great because if it gives you that time to do that particular event, you're like, hey, well, I don't have to rush into it. And you may be like, well, I might have to do this about 3, maybe 4 times. or use a load of revives and health potions and only do it twice, which may be the case depending on the amount of points that you are looking to farm within it, or any content. I'm not just saying it's all about Spring of Sorrow, because a lot of players may have different areas of the game that they need to go and farm content. Go do that content. Safe in the knowledge that if you do 28 days worth of solo events and 28 days worth of Apothecary, that will give you a nice little 56 revives to help you out along your way. Also, go into other lower content like Realm of Legends to go and get some health potions. Make sure as well to farm or save your 4-hour crystals. Now, during this particular event, there will be the return back to the normal cadence of every 4 hours. You can pick up a free crystal, a free 4-hour crystal. So that hopefully will help you get more out of that, because I do think that we have been lost by one free 4-hour crystal, so hopefully that helps players out. Then let's talk unit farming for 2 months. Why 2 months? Well, Cap's Commissary. What's Cap's Commissary? We've got a video talking about that and my theories around it coming soon. But I do think that this may be something that players might want to prep for, being another event that Kabam may want you to spend stuff, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So, when going to grab units in the 2 months, you may have 4,625 units for non-spending players from just doing all the 22-hour solo events or 24-hour of solo events. Because, by the way, it does come back on the 22nd of July. Also, we do have a Legends event dropping next month, as well as we're still expected to see a good chunk of units from the Summoner Camp, whatever it is. So it may be just 300, maybe the 90 shouldn't be there, but I'm rounding this up to 1,000, and this is estimates, by the way, 1,305 units from doing those. So just do your solo events and get involved with some of the different things Kabam has to offer and drop for you. Then, arena farming side of things, if you're willing to do a bit of arena grinding, you'll actually find yourself picking up some good chunk of units actually coming, if not bang on or close to the extent of units you might require, which, by the way, spoiler alert, is probably about 20,000, but we'll talk about that in another video, going into a bit more details. So players who are non-spending between these 2 months may get up to 4,625 units, and then maybe an additional 1,305. If you're looking to do a little bit of arena grinding with that one, it could push that up by additional 6,000 or actually 5,000 units estimated. And then a further estimated with stuff like, if you're willing to do a higher end of grind, maybe about 20,000 units, and you may get the amount that you might need for Cap's Commissary. We'll have to see, because that event hasn't been confirmed to come back, although Kabam have already done certain things this year that give me the indication they might drop something similar soon. And the final tip to kind of like ease down for July, and I think this is important, and also something I haven't mentioned in a long time when I've done the top 5 tips for the month. I actually think I stopped mentioning this one last year, and I think this is something that comes back that is so important. It's just take time to think. Think about who you're ranking up, what champions you're ranking up, what relics you're ranking up. I've got relic videos that I'm going to start working on guides of and write spreadsheets for very, very soon, and as amongst other things as well. Just trying to find a time at the moment. But that's the thing. Time is important with the game. The game sucks a lot of time from you. 1 hour or 2 hours in arena can feel like an eternity, especially when you go, what did I actually achieve today? And sometimes it's good to maybe spend a day just to kind of relax, do your alliance-based stuff, and then say to yourself, who am I ranking up for what purpose? And at that point, I think it's important to check your inventory, check if you've got any signature stones and put them on the champions, any awakenings you could do, stuff like that. And then go to things like crystals, open up clear crystals if you haven't done already. Then go to like different places, go to Alliance Wars Defense, go to Alliance Wars Attack, go into Battlegrounds and go, okay, well, I might have lost the game, lost the match or something like that, and gone, why did I lose that match? Was that a good attacker? Did I lose on time? You know, ask these questions of yourself, like, what went wrong? Why did this go right? And go, what could I do better? And all those things that are important to get perspective and prepare. And be calm and chill. And actually kind of Spend a bit of time not feeling the stress of the game, but try to focus on the future of what you're going to do with your roster, your time, and figure out what you want to achieve down the line. Do you want to go and get some units by the end of the year and do stuff for the banquet event? Do you want to make sure you've got X amount of champions ranked? Do you want to get this progression? Do you want to get this story mode done? Ask those questions and figure a plan of action for it. And just take a little bit of time to chill. Anyway, that's been the top 5 tips for the month. Check out some other content located on screen, and I'll see you all soon. Have a lovely day, and goodbye for now.